Okay, so I bought this Husky C601H compressor. It's a 60-gallon electric compressor from Home Depot. Bought it just 3 years ago, and works great. Everything's fine except for all of a sudden here the other day it starts making a funny noise from the head here, from the actual piston head. And it sounded like air was escaping instead of being pumped into the tank. And I also noticed that the tank took about twice as long to fill up as it did before. So I wasn't really sure. I looked on the internet. I found all kinds of videos about the Husky and problems with it and things, but none of them addressed this particular issue. So kind of at the end of my rope, I found I could buy this entire new head unit for about 260 bucks, and I thought that might fix it, but wasn't sure. So I went ahead and thought, well, I'll take the head off. So on top of the head here, you have, the first thing you do is you got to remove these there's three Phillips head screws, and you pull that off. That's the air cleaner compartment where the air goes into the unit to be compressed. You got to pull out the filter here, and that exposes the two reed areas here. And if you'll notice, the one on the left here is closed, and the one on the right is not. And so I wasn't really sure. I didn't know how these work, so I wasn't really sure what to do there. So I took out the head screws. There's a total of 2, 4, 6, 8 head screws. 2 of them are underneath the filter area here. And be careful, they're all different sizes. There's 3 different sizes, so make sure you know which ones came out of which spots. Some of them are longer than others, some are different diameters. But once you get all of those out, and be sure you save the lock washers, which don't always come off with the bolt. Just make sure you get those in a safe place. And then the entire head, you might have to stick a screwdriver right in here to pry, but the entire head will come off. Oh, by the way, you've got to take off the air intake. It just unscrews like this. You got to use a wrench, of course, on that to take that off. I did this earlier. And pull the head off. And once you pull the head off, you can see down, and those are the piston areas in there. And so now you'll see the head here, which is where the problem is. If you'll notice, when the pistons, these are called reed valves, I found out. You'll notice when the piston goes down to intake air, this reed valve actually flexes up, allowing air into the cylinder, and then it snaps back. So when the piston is compressing, it will push the air into the tank rather than go back out the valve. But since this one is broken, it's actually flowing back out the other direction. Here's the other piece that fell out of there. This is the piece that's supposed to be there. So I was able to find these reed valves. If you call, this compressor is actually made by Sanderson, and if you call Tri-City Tool Parts, they actually have this flapper valve here. They come in 2 different thicknesses. They're the same sizes, but there's one that's 0.008 inches thick, and that's the one for the Husky C601 Hotel. The other one is 0.015 inches, and that's too thick. So I ordered those. They're $5 online. They're delivering them. I'll put the new one on there, and we'll be fixed. Easy fix, very little money.